that it is my son.
What's going through your mind right now?
You know, it's more heartbreaking than your son missing. It is, there is some relief, you know, knowing that he's not wandering out there, knowing he didn't get abducted, knowing he's, you know, he's nowhere where someone's going to find him. It's a horrible experience that, as I said before, I don't wish on anyone as a dad. As a parent, it's tough to deal with. You know, when your kids are 3 years old and 6 years old and 8 years old, they leave for school and you worry about them. And, you know, when you're 23 years old, you know, everyone's an adult, but they're still your children. And that's how we felt about Ryan. If you're someone that believes in God and believes in prayer, and I'm somewhat along those lines, I believe that our prayer vigil was successful. We asked that Ryan would come home, and we believe that he's home. He's home with God. And at that point, he's safe. He's safe with God, and there's nothing that's happened in the past 2 weeks that we could change other than that he came home to us alive.
Mike, did the Tallahassee police tell you how they found him? What made them look at
There's a lot of specifics that we do not have because I'm sure there are portions of the investigation that are still ongoing. They do know that they found him. He was in or near an abandoned building. For some reason, it was very difficult to get to him. But when they did, they were sure, based on his clothing, it was very distinctive clothing he was wearing, that it was Ryan. And then they found his wallet with his ID. He did have a certain amount of cash in his pocket still. His wallet was there. His watch was intact, and his phone was with him. And I believe his phone was broken. The other details they're still working on providing us, and as we know them, I'd be certainly glad to share them, unless the Tallahassee police were to share them with you on their own.
Are you going to Tallahassee?
The last 2 weeks, counting the pavements, letting the community know about this. Is there anything you want to say to the public?
You know, the news media here has been incredible. I mean, you guys have just been awesome. Your compassion in the way you questioned, your relentlessness in the way you kept this in the news. We had hoped to this moment this morning that we were going to find him locally, and they had not closed those leads until this morning, and I don't know what particularly led them to that place where they found him. They've not shared that yet. Again, it's part of their ongoing investigation, and, you know, they can't share things with everyone, including me, you know, as his dad.
Are you going to Tallahassee?
Your son would be found.
I think at some point we will. We've been speaking with the victim's advocate and detectives, the captain, everyone in Tallahassee Police Department, again, has been very, very forthcoming and helpful to us in dealing with this situation.
Michael, you've been very outspoken. You've been out there. You've always held out hope that something positive could happen. And you'd hope that something positive could happen from now this.
You know, as a dad, you don't give up hope on your kids. And I have two sons that are fine young men, resourceful. Just can't put my finger on it, you know, what happened. But, you know, as a parent, I was not going to give up hope. I said the other day, you know, we were consistently tested in our resolve on whether we throw our hands up. And it was only 2 weeks, and we were not going to give up on finding my son, and obviously he was found.
This is not the outcome you wanted. You still have so many questions.
It's not the outcome anyone would want. I don't know where I go to answer that other than, you know, there are questions, and we'll have more answers from the Tallahassee Police Department and the other investigating agencies. Local agencies have helped as well. I know Broward's Sheriff's Office was helping. There were a lot of agencies, Fort Lauderdale, that were helping in the investigation. And, you know, more than that, I won't know until, I don't think, tomorrow when we get more details from the police department and how they're faring in the investigation moving forward.
What's your gut tell you? I mean, in terms of how he ended up there?
I honestly, I have no gut. They know where he left. They know the time he left. There was some lag in picking up details from cameras locally, because not every camera is controlled by the individual business that might have the camera mounted there. They're controlled by different companies. I think it took them some time to compile all this information. I know there was a person of interest that they just wanted to speak to. It could have just been a passerby. I don't know if that had anything to do with today's discovery. All I know is he was discovered. That's the full extent of what I know.
What's next for you and your family? How do you guys get through this?
We band together as a family and a group of friends, the same friends that Ryan's had throughout. I don't think my phone's working anymore. I can't get any more texts or phone calls, expressing people's sympathies. And again, I want to thank everyone, who helped try to find Ryan down here, who took the time, and the news stations that dedicated the resources, and the Tallahassee Police Department and everyone up there who's worked, the detectives we've spoken to who are working overtime, over hours, over the weekends, to do everything to find my son.
Can you talk a little bit about your son, how you want him to be remembered, kind of get people in?
I think there's a Facebook page that his good friend Andy Ball created, and Emily Stiles, and there's a lot of information about Ryan. He's a great kid. He's a loving kid. He grew up here in Weston, went through the Weston public schools, went to St. Thomas. He was a wrestler. He was a friend. He was a great friend to many people. I think if you saw the vigil or looked at the Facebook page, you'd realize what a good friend he was to everyone. His one very good friend, Emily, who's a beautiful, beautiful young woman, said, no matter what, when she had something go on in her college life and she'd pick up the phone, Ryan would tell her, get dressed up, we're going out for pizza. I want you to feel good. You should feel good about yourself. And he had a lot of good fraternity friends, and that's how we want him remembered. He had a brother that he loved very much. They loved each other very much. He's on his way to come be with his family, and there's really not a lot more I could say at this time.
Thanks for
Thank
talking.
you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
We're so sorry.
I really appreciate your patience, and I know it's been a long time standing out here, but it takes a long time to deal with this. So,
Thank you.
okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Jamie, thank you very much.